Welcome back, family. This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar with an unpopular opinion. And today's unpopular opinion is I like a man who's going to slap on my behalf. So, many of you guys heard, obviously, one of the headlines that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, who's a comedian, at the Oscar ceremony because he made an inappropriate joke about his wife's medical condition, Jada Pinkett Smith. Okay. And obviously, there's lots of mixed reviews online about this. Some people are like, oh my
Gosh, Will Smith, I can't believe he did that. Oh my gosh, it damaged his image.
But you know what? You know what? I like a man. Yeah. I like a man that's going to slap on my behalf. You know what I'm saying? I think as a culture, and definitely a lot of black women will echo this as well regarding black men, is like the lack of support, the lack of, cohesion in our communities. And don't get me wrong, black women have their role to play in the breakdown of our community. But, once upon a time, black men will not tolerate a lot of the things that they tolerate 2022. And one of the things that generally men are very sensitive of is their wife, their mother, their kids. And so, I feel that I like a man that when the time comes, he's going to stand up and do what he needs to do. The fact that Will reacted like that, it says so many different things. Obviously, I know that he's been under a lot of pressure. Living in the public eye is difficult. Having your marital issues play out in front of everyone, kind of being a laughing stock. His wife has done so many things that are questionable and embarrassing to him. And so I think he was in a sensitive mode, but he did kind of alert to the comedian that he was getting inappropriate by yelling at him. You could see some of the background footage of him saying, hey, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. And furthermore, we don't know the backstory between these two. We don't know if they've already had beef or, if this thing's been like a feud, it's been ongoing. We don't know the nature of that situation. So it could have been that it just hit a head. But I tell you what, in my opinion, that stuff is sexy. Okay. It's nice to know that your man, he's not necessarily a violent man. By all means, we know Will Smith is not a violent man. He's a family friendly guy. He's cool. He's calm and collected. So story time. So one time I met this really nice gentleman in London. I had gone to London for the weekend to attend like a music festival. So I met this really nice gentleman, and he was visiting from Geneva. And at first I was kind of pissed because I was like, I always meet dudes that are out of town, foreign dudes, and all that. So I was like really not feeling it. Anyway, got to having a conversation. He was really, attractive, smart, and I thought, this is nice, But he seemed quiet, politically correct, So we got to talking. He asked me what my plans for the evening. I told him I was going to this Afro-Caribbean club called Pier 1. Shout outs to all my UK viewers that might have ever been to Pier 1. It's lit. So anyway, he said, well, can I join you? I said, yeah, that's fine. So we go to the club, and he wasn't a dancer, so he was kind of sitting on the wall, and I was kind of dancing like in front of him a little bit, but not too far. So this guy came and, was trying to talk to me, and I was like, no, I'm here with my dude, and the guy was like persistent. Next thing his hand reached through the crowd and grabbed the man and was like, didn't you hear what she said? His voice went all deep, and I was like, okay. But it was so sexy. That was the moment that he was in. Like, he was in at that point, seriously. Because every woman likes a man who's going to stand up on her behalf. No woman likes a punk. There's no woman that looks at a situation, and probably some of you guys have heard women say, why didn't you do something? Why didn't you say something? That man was talking to me. That man was doing this, or this girl was doing this or that. And you didn't take any action. Women like men that are ready to react when they need to be. Now you don't need to be a hothead or violent 24/7, but when the occasion calls, we want to see you stand up. And I'm just, what, let me deal with this topic. There's a reason I went one topic for this unpopular opinions, which is black men nowadays are too weak. I'm sorry. they're quiet. And it's like they've lost the fire inside of them. So when I saw Will Smith, I applaud that behavior. I really do, because once upon a time, black men will never, ever, ever stand to have their mom spoken about, their wife, or their kids. It was kind of like those were definitely going to be fighting words. The men of 2022 are so passive. They're so weak. They're so, politically correct. And it's almost like that masculinity inside of him has just been quelled. Like, it's awful. So yeah, I mean, I know this is an unpopular opinion. People are like, oh my God, Will Smith, why? Well, I mean, Jada is a sensitive topic for him. They done been through a lot, and he's probably fed up, and everybody has a boiling point. Will has been a gentleman, you know, as long as I've ever known him, for decades in the public eye. People have insulted him and called him weak and corny and all this stuff. So, obviously Chris Rock went too far. But anyway, guys, you let me know what you think in the comments box. I want to hear from the African Superstar family. Until we meet again, stay black and true if you ain't black.